Welcome to the quietest ones in the room with your host, Trey. Man, I hope you're enjoying your day. And, I've taken note of this. I would say you who is listening, amongst all the people that I know, are the most intelligent, the most inquisitive. And for that, you are beautiful. So thank you once again for checking this out. I hope you're enjoying your day. As I said, I had something that I really, really wanted to bring to you, something that I've been thinking about, which is the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm sure you're familiar with her, the Wicked Witch of the West. She has this distinct laugh that took the nation by storm last year, the Wicked Witch of the West. She ran against an opponent for a particular role in this country. If you haven't figured it out by now, it's a woman by the name of Kamala Harris. Yes, I refer to her as the Wicked Witch of the West for so many different reasons. But I've been thinking about this deeply. What would have convinced anyone that this incompetent individual would have been the perfect choice to run this country? I recently took note of during the LA fires, we're all familiar with it, right? During the LA fires, did you not know, or were you not aware that Kamala Harris, not until after the inauguration of Donald Trump, did she visit LA and visit the area where the fires had devastated communities? I mean, in what world would it take a VP so long to go to a state that they're so familiar with, a state that they were beloved in? What would take them so long to get there? Oh, I'm guessing, maybe she was too busy. Maybe there were all these security concerns. It doesn't matter. It once again shows why she was not the person to run this great nation. She showed it once again. She's made so many missteps in her political career, and that is part of the reason as to why the United States of America and its people did not decide to elect her in office to lead this great country as a shining light to the rest of the world. Maybe you disagree. I don't know. Maybe you do. But the point being, you could not convince me in any world that this person who shows a lack of concern, who, in so many ways, just wasn't up for the task, made so many missteps during the presidential run, that she would have been great to lead this nation. And, aside from that, as I observed her behavior as VP and how long it would take her to respond to natural disasters all across the nation during her tenure, and in particular when the world was looking at the LA fires and the devastation, she did not go until after the inauguration. How insane is that? I know that was a misstep, because 4 years from now, if she decided to run again, one of the very things that people would point out is the lack of engagement she showed pertaining to the state of California and the devastation. So if you can't see that by now, I don't know what to say, and I'll leave it there. Another person on my so-called hit list is Vivek Ramaswamy, Rami Salami. And I don't mean any disrespect by that. I'm just trying to think about things that sounded pretty different. But Vivek was an individual who, for all intents and purposes, was considered a very intelligent person. He was considered someone that the right could hold up in the air. Oh, this shows the greatness of America. Oh, just look at Vivek. He's so ahead of his time. He's Benjamin Franklin. Oh, he's Thomas Jefferson reincarnated. Whatever the right wanted to say, he heaped all the praise until his elitist ideologies came out. And he essentially said that the American people are idiots and the H-1B visa recipients that come here are far better at so many tasks than the lazy American people. And because of that, he put his foot in his mouth and became a lamb to slaughter amongst the people. It was not a mistake to remove him from Doge. It was pertinent, and it was to the max in terms of what needed to be done, because Vivek, honestly, from my observations, he has an elitist mentality. He doesn't even fit in terms of, let's say it this way, politically, he provides a sense of alignment with the right. But when you really dive into who he is and his culture, he really is not a person that I envision they would utilize fully as we see the country continue to move in a different direction. You know, Vivek is a very intelligent person, but let's be honest, he's an elitist. And he showed it publicly. And it pissed a lot of people off. And so therefore, he needed to be removed, and rightfully so. Let's look at this. You know, January, and I want to certainly do this show before January ends. This is the last day of the month. What a crazy month this has been. I didn't want to do like a January recap necessarily. But let's think about this. This month started with a terrorist attack. New Orleans. More than a dozen people killed by domestic terrorists. And that's how the day after New Year's Eve, we greeted the new year. Very tragic. And amongst all the things that have taken place this month, that still sticks out in my mind as the start of a crazy year thus far. And in between that terrorist attack, so much more has gone on. We had additional, you know, I guess I call them false flags, or we had additional terrorist attacks. We had school shootings. We just had too much negativity in January. And just like you, I'm certain you're probably thinking like I am, man, if I could just forget about this month, or just erase this month altogether and like look at February 1st at the start of the new year, I would like to do that. I think that would be appropriate. So during this month, a lot of what I've been observing is a lot of cognitive dissonance. And the things that I really want to point out, and I won't keep you too long, one of them is the cost of living. All of last year, we completely understand that prices of goods and services were too much. And we got yo-yoed around, oh, inflation's up, inflation's down, inflation's up, CPI, price indexes, up, down, left, right, side to side. All year long, people were still getting priced out of the necessary foods, the necessary housing, and even into the new year, we're still facing the same issues. Even with the new administration, your eggs, your bananas from the tariffs that were, you know, potentially, coming out of Colombia, imposed on Colombia, we're going to increase prices in different ways. And a lot of us can navigate those things. We don't always have to buy the things that we know are expensive. We can pivot and buy other things. But we can't pretend like prices as far as our food and housing has changed in any way. It's it's absurd that you have to damn near make $120,000 to live a comfortable life, a life in most places in America. It's absurd. You have to make 120,000 almost to afford the average home in America. Something needs to be done, and it needs to be done immediately. But when we have incompetent leadership like we had, like this administration may or may not show, is yet to be seen, we'll continue to have this widening of the haves and have-nots. So my message in all of this is, don't listen to the words. You can be fooled by the words of politicians and businessmen, so-called community leaders. Focus. Focus on your family. Focus on the small things that you can do to give yourself advantage and your friends and your family advantages in this wild time. From what I can tell, prices are going to continue to go up. Housing is going to continue to go up until we as the people really get tired of it all. But as I can tell, games are still being played and they need to be resolved swiftly. Swiftly. I mean, money's tight. I don't know how it is for you, but money's tight. And I know personally so many of my family members, just like I'm certain a lot of your family members are in a bad position right now and need a lifeline and need jobs and opportunities. So with these things transpiring, we know that there are going to be some people who talk a lot on TV and on social media in terms of what can be done, what they will do. But don't hold your breath. The prices are still going up. There's still a war going on in Ukraine that needs to end. There are potential wars coming. There are ideological wars happening. There's so much taking place. But once again, I hope you are focusing. I hope you are focusing on your mental health. I hope you are focusing on your physical health. I hope that you are focusing on your family. And let's leave it there. Until next time.